do, when we meet, we ask permission from the ancestors to get started. And in doing so, we will recognize the most senior person in the room. And Ms. Phyllis Jones, that would be you. So in our ancient African culture, we will ask for permission to begin. When we begin. And as you know, if there's anything that I say that you disagree with, you have to take it up with the others. Because I have permission to begin. So how about Larry? Okay, that means what's the news in Swahili? We're going to practice a little Swahili today. All right? So today, what's the word of today? Kuji Chakalia. Right? That's what the word is today. Self-determination. Now let me explain self-determination to you. This is one of the most important reasons why I celebrate Kwanzaa. Is because we did not ask for permission from anyone to celebrate Kwanzaa. It was based on self-determination that we went forward, and our elders went forward and brought this celebration to our community. So we didn't ask for permission, we didn't ask for a holiday, because none of that matters. Once a generation of people have self-determination, they can do whatever they want to do. So before we begin, I would like you to say one thing with me. I want everyone to repeat after me. I am. Because they were. And they are. Because I am. Ashe. Because we do not separate ourselves from the past, nor do we separate ourselves from the unborn. Without further ado, let me ask one young person. Here you go. We got a volunteer in the house. We got a prince in the house who's going to come forward and assist me with lighting the candle for Kuji Chakalia. Come on. You have your programs, so in your programs you can follow along with us. All right, as you know, today is our second day, so we'll start out by lighting the candle from Umoja, which is unity. So this young prince is going to hold the candle for Umoja. I'm going to light it, and then he is going to go ahead and light the red candle for Kuji Chakalia.
Turn around, maybe your parents probably want to catch a picture of you.
Your parents want to get a picture of you.
All right, now you go. Like this, like the red. There you go.
Light the red candle.
Like the red candle. Not this one.
Now, if you look on your programs,
A little bit short.
it's going to say,
try it again.
we light the candle of Kuji Chakalia, and then the people will repeat with, this is the candle for self-determination. So, we light the candle for Kuji Chakalia.
This is the candle of self-determination.
We will now begin.
Thank you very much, Prince.
Now we have officially started our celebration of Kuji Chakalia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to bring to you a young lady who is an icon in our community. I call her a young lady and I call her an icon. But she's both of that and all of that. This is Ms. Phyllis Jones. She is the lead for the NAACP Education for the State. And it's our pleasure to bring her here today to share with us what we need to know. Please welcome her with a warm round of applause.
She wanted to say.
I don't even like it. I work with 3-year-olds. I don't even like it. Good evening. How you doing? I am Phyllis Jones. My name is Phyllis Jones, and I am the state education chair for the NAACP. So, as that past of 9 years, I deal with the state as far as my education is concerned. So, you know, normally when we talk about education, we go from the bottom up. We talk about the schools first, right? We're not going to do that. We're going to go from the top down, because that's where our shortcoming is. It's from the top. You know, a lot of times when we go to the schools, we tell them we don't like this, we don't like that. We go to the school board tells you what? We're doing what the state said. And then you know what you do? You go home. Don't you? Well, we need to stop doing that. You see, there's the Texas State Board of Education, Look at these people right here. You see how many of them look like us, right? Woo, how many look like us? Two. And we're losing this one, we're losing her January 1st. So we'll have one. The State Board of Education, we vote on these people. We elect them. We vote for them. Do you pay attention to who they are? No. Do you pay attention to what they say? No. But should we? Yes. Because they're the ones who decide what our kids learn. These people right here. Do we run for this position? No, we don't run for it. You know why? Because it's not glorious. You don't get paid for it. No one will sing you out and go, hey, there's the State Board of Education person. So we don't run for this position. You don't get paid. It's not prestigious, but it's very important. Because like I said, whatever your child learns in school, these people vote on it. This lady right here. No, where's she at? There she is. Patricia Hardy. She's not our person, but Patricia Hardy is very important. Because this is what she said. She said we don't need sex education in the schools because your kids will learn it anyway. So do we have sex ed in the school? No. Not the way it should be taught. They fluffed it real nicely, but she said that. And what did we say about it? We didn't say anything. Do we go to these meetings in Austin? No. But they're public meetings and we need to go. Someone needs to run for this. We need to find somebody who's retired. So Jupiter's going to find us that person, and Broccoli and Moore will find that person. We need somebody who's retired, who's concerned about our education, kids, and run for this. You don't need much money to run for this, because I want you to raise your hand if you know who your person is. Raise your hand if you know what district we are. Well, just to let you know. We're district number 10. And this is the man who represents us. You know him? No. Have you ever seen him? No. When we have candidates for him, is he invited? No. Do we ever call him to a meeting? Do we email him? No.
What's his name?
What's his name?
His name is Tom Maynard. He lives in Florence. So Florence has nothing to do with KISD. Nothing in common with us, but this is where he lives. But he's our state school board person. So we need to go to TEA's website. We need to join it, but we need to call him. We need to talk to this man. You know what the social studies books are being talked about? Well, these were the people we talked about. When we did an open forum to speak, a lot of us went to speak. I asked a lot of people to come, and we did. But what they did was they decided to wait us out. So it was about 10 o'clock at night before some of us spoke. We were ready with your coolers. We were ready. But they held us up hoping we wouldn't speak. But we did. We speak about social studies. And my part to speak about it was they wanted Thurgood Marshall taught in first grade. Well, my part was I stated that if Thurgood Marshall was taught in the first grade, those kids would equate him to Judge Judy, Judge Mathis, and then we had Judge Johnson. That's what those kids would have equated, because that's their work. They would have thought of him as that. They wanted Oprah Winfrey taught in the 5th grade. I'm sorry to say I love Oprah too, but she didn't do anything for history. But they wanted her put in there. But did we go? Most of us didn't. We stayed at home. And we don't know why. Well, I'm telling you now, we need to go back. You need to go to TEA when you get home and learn who these people are, learn what they're all about. It's easy. We all have a computer, we have a smartphone, we have tablets, notebooks, and all those other things. So we need to use this, and we need to find out who these people are and what they want to talk about. And why our kids are in the condition they're in. And quit attacking your local school board when it's the state's problem. And also, like I said, find somebody that's retired, that can afford it. They only meet once a month. They get paid mileage, but they only meet once a month. And that once a month, their agenda looks like this. And we're not there. So how can we advocate for our child's education if we're not there? We can't. Yet we say we're advocates, right? We say that. We advocate for kids' education. We all say that. But we need to start at the top, not the bottom. We need to start at the top and let them know who we are and what we're all about. It's easy, just join TEA's website. Okay, now I have 2 people that's gonna help me. Yes. No, they're already selected, I'm sorry, but I have a Carpers Cove High School and I have Shoemaker High School. Roger's gonna die because I picked up his school.
Don't be messing with you, Greg.
Okay, how many in here, hold it up. How many in here received their school's report card? Raise your hand if you received the school's report card. So you have the latest report card. Did you read it? No. I want to know, did everybody read it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
No.
You didn't, why not?
Because of on some of the sections in the school, like the grades, that said, unable to determine
Okay.
on, especially when, on some of the classes, the testing that they're supposed to take. And then some of them, they were able to determine, but there was a great disparity between them.
We're gonna talk about Carpers Cove High School. You have Carpers Cove, correct? Okay, what's the dropout rate at Carpers Cove High School among African Americans? First of all, what's the state's dropout rate?
In 2013, it was 2.2%,
But what was Carpers Cove's for African American kids?
0.9%.
Whose was the highest?
Pacific Islanders.
And different. What about our math scores?
Um, 85% or 82% of African Americans were satisfactory or above satisfactory.
What was the district
81%,
in the state?
78%.
You have Shoemaker. Shoemaker's dropout rate for African American students. First of all, for the state was what?
For 2013 is 2.2%, and then for 2012 is 2.4%.
What about the African American dropout rate?
It's for 2013 it's 1.6%, and in 2012 it's 1.4.
Whose was the highest?
2 or more raises.
Okay. That means we have a problem with our dropout rate. It should be 0. It should be 0. And the kids of 2 or more races, most of our kids fall into that. And some kids would just simply put 2 or more races on it just so they don't want to be one. So our 2 or more races, you can basically categorize them already. But we need to fix those. But you know the only way to fix those 2 reports is to go back to the same people that we just got finished talking about. These people right here. Your school district has only so much they can do. In there, it tells you how much money they spend on your child, how much the state spends and how much they spend. It tells you all your whole breakdown. We need to take this. When you want to fight for your kids in education, take this report card with you. And then again, if you don't have a report card, I have a paperwork right here that shows the website where you can get it from, where you can get the report card. You can get it the same day they get it. Same day the schools get it, you can get it. And have it with you. But we need to use these tools in order, thank you, thanks. We need to use, huh? We need to use these tools. You can keep it, Brocky. We need to use the tools that we have to go and fight for our kids' education. Okay, now I'm gonna step down a little more. Our legislators. Who's your legislator? Everybody know who their legislator is, right? Raise your hand. You know who your legislator is? Raise your hand. Okay. I will tell you. If you live in Killeen, it's Jimmy Don Acott. If you live in Arca Heights, I forgot the lady's name. But the person we need to
Miss
remember.
White. Mike White. She just came on.
The person you need to remember is Jimmy Don Acott. You know why? Because he's the chairperson for education. He's the chair. He is the chair. He's it. He also is on that part of setting the policies and setting the goals and setting the procedures for our children to advance. So Jimmy Don Acott is the person we all should email. We need to call him. We need to talk to him. When the legislative session goes back in, January 6th, we need to have called him by January 1st or email him. He answers his email. He answers them. Now, how many of us know what white papers are? Wanda should know. She had to do enough of them for me, but she don't come to remind them. White papers. You know when our legislators go into session, you know, and they go on the floor and they talk about education. These are your white papers, emails that you send them. When your legislator goes before and he talks about our child's education, and I'll use one person that I always write me is Rodney Ellis and Royce West. They're our legislators. They'll ask you for white papers on a bill. If a bill, let's say HB 12 says, you know, preschoolers have to take a nap every day. Okay, well on Friday, you'll find out that that bill goes on the floor on Monday or Tuesday, really Tuesday. So I'll get an email, Wanda's part of my group, I'll get an email and say, I need to know what y'all think about it. The more papers he has, Royce West and Rodney Ellis have on Tuesday morning, the more papers he got. These are your white papers. The more he has, the more he can read, and the more likely he'll get what he needs. So we need to do emails, because they need white papers. Now on my team last year, I had a lot of people, but in this area, I asked Wanda. She helped me out a lot. And I had Rhonda Brown, and I had various people helped out, and I sent them the emails, and we addressed these issues. Yes, it was a short amount of time, and we had a lot to do in a short amount of time, but it was for our kids' education, and we did it. So you know, and if you all want to help out, you know, like 2 years ago, we had 680 bills, education. They're all education. There's 680 of them. Thank God they didn't all come to the floor. Because, you know, my friends would have probably killed me, but they didn't all come to the floor. But those that did come to the floor, we answered them. And I didn't send them in all in one email, because I learned. Once I sent them in all together, I learned you can't do that. So I sent them in each one by one. Rodney Ellis, if anybody knows him, loves white papers, because if he gets 500 sheets of paper, you know what he's going to do? He's going to take up the whole day and he's going to read all of them. Just because. Just because. Because he's going to come in, and what he will say is that, I got this from Colleen, I got this from Heights, because he's doing it because he let that legislator know, your people don't trust you, they're not talking to you, so they're talking to me. Besides the fact that he's black, they're talking to me. So he's going to read all of them with a smile on his face, because we've helped him. We've helped him, give him some white papers. You want to know what the education bills is? I'll give you my email address. You want to be on the team that I'll send them out? I'll send them out to you. Yes, I'll send them to you Friday, and I'll ask you back for them Sunday night by 9 o'clock. So I can send them to his aide, and then they can go on and do it. So if you want to be a part of that team, give me your email. I'll give you my email address, and we'll start. Submitting a bill. How many of us know how to submit a bill? Everybody here who knows how to write a paragraph knows how to submit a bill. We need to do so. Is there something about education you don't like? Broccoli, is there something about education you don't like? Wanda, you? There's something in education we all don't like, correct? Then we need to start writing. We need to start writing. If we're advocates for our kids, we need to start writing. Submit your bills. Submit them to our black legislators, or actuality. Those are the ones I submit them to, because we need to help them out. So I'll send them to Royce West, Sheila Jackson Lee, Rodney Ellis. I'll send them to them, because we need to help them out. And give them that whole stack. Let them go on the floor on Monday morning and say, you know what, HB 12, I got 500 people who don't like it. Even if you just put no on it. He'll read your paper. This one said no. He will. It doesn't matter. This one said yes. It doesn't matter. One word, it doesn't matter. As long as he has the papers to come in there and say, this is what I got, that's all they need. So where are we? We're not doing it. But we fuss about it, and we complain about it. But we're not doing what simply needs to be done. Doesn't take long. Same amount of time you read the little Facebook stuff, and all the things that we read on there, same amount of time it's going to take just to read the bill and answer it. Wanda one time, she got a group of people to help her to answer with her. So I had Wanda's email and 4 or 5 other people's email. Rhonda Brown, she did the same thing. I had a whole bunch of people like, okay, and I sent them all in separately. All I stated was they came from Colleen. I sent them all in separately. And then one time, our legislator, Jimmy Donaycott, he called me. He said, Phyllis, why are they reading all these emails and I'm not said, well, I sent you 2 and you didn't read them. I sent you 2, you didn't read them, but they read them all. So I'm not sending you no more. So what does that make him feel like? Now he knows we don't trust him. We don't like him, but is enough of us doing it? No. So we need to do it. I know you say you didn't come here for homework assignment, but I'm sorry, that's what I do. This is what we need to do. We need to go back and be proactive. Just take a few minutes of your time. Just do it. Just go back and simply do what we gotta do. Okay, now we're dropping down again a little bit. Just to those people call our local school board people. Your local school board only got so much control. Because they gotta listen to the state. Then they gotta listen to the money. You know, they gotta listen to the money. And the money comes from the state, our federal government, and the Department of Education. That's where our money comes from. And those are the people our school board dance to. You gotta remember that. They only got so much power, so much local control. So when you go before the school board and say you don't like something, make sure, first of all, it's something they can do. So sometimes we go to them and they can't fix it, because it's not in their control. And you look at them and say, why did I elect you? That's not why you elected them. So know what they can do before you go challenge them. And then get to know who your school board members are. Don't go ask them about the budget. We always go, how you gonna balance the budget? No. No. How you gonna spend more money in this classroom for my children? Those are questions we need to ask. How you gonna fix lunch? Because they don't get meat anymore for lunch or breakfast. We need to talk about the things that they can actually fix. We ask questions about the budget. We ask finance questions. Okay, they blow us off on that one, and we walk away happy, thinking we asked something. You didn't ask them. Ask the meat. Go for the jugular and watch them dance. And then again, we don't have many of us that sit on the school board, so we won't put us in. We won't put us in because I don't like her, I don't like him, I don't like them. Well, I don't care if I like you or not. If you're good for the board, put them in there. If the person is qualified and good for the board, put them in. They didn't say you gotta like them. You don't even have to speak to them. But if they're good at their job, put them in there. We need to quit playing the little games we play. I don't care if you don't like me. Just listen to what I'm saying and do what I'm saying. But we need to go back and we need to reframe things. Okay, so we're gonna go down one more time. We're not going back too far. We're gonna go to our schools. Most parents assume that they need to join the PTA, right? Wrong. PTA don't do anything. You know what the PTA does? If we want playground equipment, PTA raise the money and they can go get it for us. I'm elementary school, that's all we want them to do. Go get playground equipment, we need to do this, that, just the cute stuff. That's all we want PTA to do. Then we want them to go away. And most schools don't have a PTA because our PTA stole money from us twice, so we don't have one. So we just don't have it. The committee you want to join, the SBDM committee, Site-Based Management Decision-Making Committee. You know why? Because they control the money in your school. They control all the money. So community people, you need to be on that committee. You don't have to have any kids in that school to be on the committee. They have community people on there. Now if you don't, if you let that committee be ran by just the teachers and the people in the school, guess what? The principal gonna give her way, gives her way. They get to spend the money they said, how they want to. You know why?
No.
Because the principal come.
Tell them why.
Because you know, if the principal come in and all of y'all work for me, if the principal say, you know what? I want to take all the admin to this next workshop. What do y'all say? You gonna go yeah, because you want your job, right? You want your job. So you gonna say yes. You gonna say sure, whatever you want. Yeah. But if you got more community people on that school, on that committee, and that principal said that, what you gonna say? Nah, we need to spend some money over here. We need to spend some money over there. That's why you need community people on SBDM committee. Not the cutesy PTA, where you do the cutesy little thing, because you're not effective on PTA, we don't care about you. We just want you to buy playground equipment, balls for the schools, you know, little fluffy stuff. Get on the SBDM committee. Walk in, say, I want an application, I want to be on the SBDM committee. And schools got smart. They meet like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock when they figure you at work. So you can't come. You can't come. That's when your retirees come in. Or people who work at night. That's when you come in. But join those committees. Don't get sidetracked by this other stuff. Be on the committees that matter, that really affect education. Like I said, in your local school, SBDM, that's where the money come in. We have a school now, the principal told her they're broke. This is December. They're broke. They don't know why. They haven't spent any money. They haven't spent any money. So one of the smart people decided the SBDM committee send that question in, and now all of a sudden the school found money. The month of December, the school found money. They found the money. It just showed up because one of the community people on the SBDM committee asked the question, where's the money? The money, it just all, you know how money appears? It just appeared. It went from here to here and it just showed up. Now let's go to the school, they can make copies. They can do stuff now because a non-staff person asked the question. They asked the question. So, we say we're advocates for our kids, and I gave you different levels. We were from the state school board, went to your legislators, we went to your school board, and we went down to SBDM. So if we want to take back our schools and make sure our kids get a balanced education, those are things that we need to do. And that's all we need to do, Roger.
And one good thing about the site-based team, I'm on 3 of them. Every site-based team have 2 business positions on it. So you can live on this side of town and be on Shoemaker site-based team. You can be on this side of town and be on Hopper Heights site-based team. All you have to be a part of a non-profit or own your own business. It cannot confuse you.
And also, you can affect this little report card right here.
A lot of people don't know that.
You can affect those things. You can affect that. So now I'm going to go to the last part, and then I'm through.
That was quick.
A complaint. How many of us know how to file a complaint in the school district? How many of us know how to file a complaint? And actually get it listened to? Okay, let's talk about that. All right. Wanda, I'm using Wanda because I know her. Wanda's son goes to some school, middle school. Wanda's son is in middle school, Union Grove. And the teacher called her son an idiot in the classroom. He called her son an idiot. Told him he was just an idiot. All the rest of the day, all his buddies, what did they call him, man? Idiot. So he goes home and he tells Mom, teacher called me idiot. He wrote it on the board. Idiot. Okay, so Wanda, she's upset. So what's the first thing she's gonna do? Should she go to the superintendent?
No.
Oh, that's true. She shouldn't go to the superintendent because he ain't nobody. School district hates paper. They don't like paper trails because you catch them. So what Wanda's gonna do is she's gonna go to admin and she's gonna get a level 1 and a level 2 complaint form. She's gonna go get that form. She's gonna go get that form. And see on that form, they got itty bitty lines that look like this. Wanda gonna put see attached sheet on the little bitty line. And Wanda's gonna write out her complaint. She's gonna type it out. She's gonna type it out. And she's gonna make 3 copies. Three copies. And she's gonna take this copy the next day, because she has 10 days to file this complaint. So she's gonna take that complaint and she's gonna take it to the school. Now, it's against the teacher, so you give it to the principal, correct? Right. You don't care who signed that. When you take it back, any secretary in there, you don't care who signs it, because when she signs it, she's accountable for it. So she's gonna sign all 3. And you're gonna take 1 back, and they're gonna keep 2. Okay? So now in your relief, you don't want the teacher fired, because that's not gonna happen. So we need to be realistic about it. You want her to apologize to your child? Legally, you can't make anybody apologize to anybody. It's against the law. It is against the law to make somebody apologize. So that's not a relief you want. You want the teacher to have sensitivity training? Yes! Because I can send them through sensitivity training. I can do that. I can do that. I can actually do that. I can also make sure that he never says that again to any other student. Put that on there. But I want a meeting. You always want a meeting with the teacher, principal, and whoever else you bring. Remember, you bring who you want. If you bring a lawyer, you gotta tell them. If you don't bring a lawyer, you don't have to tell them. But you can bring anybody you want. And you should. Never walk into a school by yourself to a meeting with the principal. You're crazy. They want you to do that. I don't care who you take. The next door neighbor, I don't care who you take, somebody with you, anybody. But sit in that meeting and y'all talk. Now, the principal gonna say, okay, why don't you listen to the idiot principal? The principal gonna say, my teacher said they didn't do it. Don't argue. Don't argue. Just pack your little stuff and see you later goodbye. Because remember, you got a level 1 and a level 2 form. Okay, so you also want your letter back in writing from the principal. So you wait for your letter back in writing from the principal. But man, it's 8 days and she didn't give it to you. You got 2 days left, right? So you file your level 2 and you take it to the principal's boss. And why you filing is because 8 days and you have not received a relief from her in writing, him or her, or either the relief you see you disagree with. Now with a level 2, you can't add anything to it. You can't. But you're going to have a meeting with your principal's boss, and you sit with him or her, and you say, whole thing, my son was called an idiot, he was embarrassed, harassed, I don't like it, I don't want it to happen again. You want the teacher fired, remember, because they're not a fire teacher. Sensitivity training. Never happen again. I want it known, never happen again. First of all, your level 1 that you filed, you know, then you're going to do level 2, it goes in the principal's jacket as a negative. It goes against them. Also goes in the teacher's file as a negative too, because it was filed. Your principal really don't want that in her file. Because they can go to get a raise to which they haven't got in years. It's there. Okay? So you get a relief. You level 2, you want to meet with everybody all over again. And you get to do that. You really do. Usually KISD will stop at a level 2 because they don't want to go through the trauma of a level 3. But let's just say Wanda still ain't happy with the level 2. She's not happy. She got all the back in writing and she goes back to admin and she's I need a level 3 form. At that point they're all going to freak out and scream and cry and ask her, does she really want to do this? Yes, you do. That means you go before the school board. Do you go by yourself? No. Because you know who they have there? They got their lawyer there. Their lawyer's sitting there for your level 3. So if you go in there by yourself, you are then again crazy. Take somebody with you. Take your lawyer, take an advocate, take someone who knows the school district and laws and all that. Make sure you know it too, because then it's a battle going to start at that point in time. That becomes a battle. But those are the levels of the way that you correct something at the local level of the school district. You do paper. They hate paper. Because remember, from level 1 to level 2, it's accountability paper. Level 2 to level 3 is more accountability paper. Level 3, still accountability paper, because if you don't like them, then you end up suing the district. And if you know school districts really don't go to court, they settle out because they can't afford to go to court. So if you need to, and now Carpus Cove, I know you don't go to Carpus Cove, but you live there, it's a little different. Carpus Cove don't have a level 1. They go straight to a level 2. So I played that game and decided to switch it around. As the education chair, I know there is a level 1 exists. So I took KISD level 1, scratched off KISD, put Cove on there and made them use it. Because I saw myself losing at the first point of view when they didn't have a level 1 form. I saw me losing already. I don't like losing. I wasn't going to play. So I forced them to use the level 1 form that KISD does. I just took all the names off and they utilized it. They didn't know what the heck I was doing, but they figured it out and we did it that way. But when you go before the school district and you got a complaint, do it right. Don't call a superintendent and say the teacher's an idiot and I want them fired. It's not going to happen. And you're going to be written off as a joke and it goes. So follow the levels, do what you got to do, and thank you for listening to me.